Folks, this is an emergency, emergency, emergency. We must occupy the Republican Party. This is going to be the most important election in American history because it's obvious to me, and it will be obvious to you after you watch this video, that all the Republicans want us to do is all to starve and die. Now, it started with Richard Nixon, folks. He lied about Vietnam, and the Bushes just took a page from Nixon's book, and they have cost us over $5 trillion in Iraq, and it's going to grow to $10 trillion or more. Republicans say that Obama, we need to change directions from Obama. No, Obama has changed directions away from the Bushes, and we need to stay on the current direction, which is a correction away from the spending and the bankrupting of the two Bushes that took it from Nixon, and spending $5 trillion so far in Iraq. And why? So that they could personally profit from the death and destruction of millions of people, even American soldiers. Over 4,000 have died, 50,000 have been injured, and we will have to pay hundreds of thousands of them disability over the rest of their lives because of PTSD. This is the Republican Party. They do not care how we suffer as a country, or how the country suffers in the world, as long as they personally profit, folks. That's treason. The new class of 2012 is just as bad or worse. Mitt Romney made millions by bankrupting companies and laying off tens of thousands of people who were innocent and just trying to feed their families. Does Mitt care? Of course not, because he makes hundreds of millions. He is now worth over $200 million by finding companies, bankrupting them, closing them down, putting tens of thousands of people out of work, and outsourcing millions of other jobs overseas. And he has the audacity to think he's presidential material. Newt of ill repute Gingrich was disgraced and forced out of Congress as a speaker in the 90s for ethics violations. Now, this is by an organization that has no ethics or scruples of any kind. But Newt went one step too far. He actually kited checks on a House bank that he created. Now, how you create a bank in the House, I don't know. It's unconstitutional. No one has ever done it before or since. But he did that, and then he bounced checks off his own bank. That's why they kicked him out of Congress. He hopes that you and I will forget. But I never forget. Newt the Brute Gingrich then, after he leaves Congress, makes millions more by lobbying for the greedy corporations who do not want to pay taxes, which is unpatriotic, folks. They make their money from this country. They do to pay some back. So Newt makes millions after he leaves office by being a lobbyist for these corrupt organizations who are greedy, 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 and do not want to pay any taxes. They just want us to pay, the middle class. Governor Rick Perry, same thing. Just like George Bush, he can't even remember 3 federal agencies of government that he wants to shut down. That's what happened in one of the debates. I saw it with my own eyes. And then he says, oops. And he has the audacity to think he's presidential material, just like George W. Bush, who became president with even less brains probably than Perry. But Perry is just as bad, if not worse. He actually ordered girls in his state at 12 years old to get vaccinated to protect them against sexually transmitted disease. Now, you can't order that unless you're a dictator. We supposedly live in a democracy. He should have let that go through the legislature. They never would have passed such a thing. So when the people of Texas threaten to tar and feather him and run him out of town on a rail, he just goes, oops. And again, he has the audacity to think he's presidential material. George W. Bush is the same kind of governor from Texas. He's a hick from hillbilly land, an oil billionaire who's making billions more, and he bankrupted this country with 2 wars in the trillions of dollars and tax cuts for the rich at the same time. While he and the Bush family actually profited in the billions from the war profiteers, companies that sold guns, bombs, planes, rifles, the Humvees, all of that jazz, the security companies, the private contractors. The Bushes are personally profiting from this in the billions of dollars, folks, in the billions of dollars. And now they want to get Jeb Bush up there too. God forbid. Now, Ron Paul is the only Republican who has any morals or any ethics of any kind, but he has zero chance of winning the Republican nomination. Newt is favored by 46% of the Republicans, Willard Mitt Romney by 22%, and Rick Perry has another 10%. That means 78% of the vast majority of Republicans are just as corrupt and morally bankrupt as these people because they're supporting them, giving them millions of dollars. So that means they're unpatriotic too, and they don't care if we all die. So Republicans, as further proof, folks, Republicans in the House and Senate, as I make this video, are threatening to shut down the government if their millionaire clients have any tax increase at all. They pay almost zero as it is. They want it to be less than zero. And they're going to shut down government and threaten the security of the world by saving the people who bribe them in tax money. So this is what the Republican Party is all about, folks. It's obvious. All you have to do is read the papers, watch TV a little bit, and read between the lines, and compare the stories against each other. Now, Barack Obama, you can say a lot of nasty things about him too, but at least he is not one of them. Folks, in 2012, the choice is clear. It always comes down to the lesser of two evils, but that's how we survive. And so we need to occupy the Republican Party, save your country, tell everyone you know, copy this URL, send it out in all your emails, put it on your Facebook accounts, your Twitter accounts, Twitter it all the time through 2012. Tweet it to everyone you know. Tell the URL to everyone you know. Occupy Republican Party. Have them Google it. Have them look for it. This is the only information that is the God's honest truth, and we have to spread the truth because both sides lie. This is the truth. At least Barack Obama is not one of them. The Republicans want to change direction, but what they failed to tell you is Barack Obama has changed the direction from the going over the cliff destruction that they have given us through the Bushes and the Nixons and the Reagans. And so you can't change direction from the correction that we're making unless you want to go back to going over the cliff like the Bushes want us to and let them profit and be traitors to this country. If you like that direction, vote Republican. And if you don't like that direction, and we're trying to correct that direction and get the country back on firm footing, then stay the course with Barack Obama. He disappoints me in a lot of ways, folks, but at least he has changed direction from the Republicans, and now they're using this baloney excuse that we need to change direction, trying to blame all of this on poor Barack Obama. He's done a lot of stupid things, but he has not been a traitor to this country, and all the Republicans are. God bless. Copy this URL to everyone you know. Get it out there every day. Make an effort to help save your country, please.